the petition on the need for a general election, and I'll call Patrick Hurley first.
It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. This petition presents itself as the voice of democratic urgency. In truth, it's something we're far more familiar with, and something that is far less noble. It's the impulse of the toddler. But a democracy cannot be run like a nursery, because here's the truth. You don't get something simply because you want it. Yeah.
Is he seriously saying, because his attitude, I have to say...
Patrick Hurley opens a debate by arguing that the petition for a general election presents itself as a voice of democratic urgency, but in reality reflects an impatient impulse. He says democracy cannot be run like a nursery and that people do not get something simply because they want it. He points out that although 1 million people have signed the petition, there are tens of millions of voters in the country, and 1 million signatures do not represent a national majority. Hurley argues that the public already received change in 2024 when a new government came in with a promise to stop applying short-term fixes to long-term problems created over the previous 14 years.
It's unbelievably patronising. Is he seriously saying that the over 1 million people across the UK who signed this petition are basically all children who don't know what they're doing? Because that's his implication, which is deeply insulting to 1 million plus people, including our constituents.
You've got 1 million people sign a petition? How many people vote in a general election? Well more than 1 million people. They might not like it, but it's true. They do not include a rolling plebiscite triggered whenever a sufficiently large group of people become bored, frustrated, impatient, or whether they've had a video clip shared to them on the WhatsApp. Yeah?
I feel the honourable member might acknowledge that in the history of petitions debates, that the two most...
Mark Francois reacts strongly to Hurley's tone and challenges him directly. He says Hurley's attitude is unbelievably patronising and asks whether he is seriously suggesting that more than 1 million people who signed the petition are essentially children who do not understand what they are doing. Francois calls the implication deeply insulting to 1 million citizens, including elected members' constituents. He also argues that the scale of the petition reflects the frustrations many people feel with the government, and that these concerns should not be dismissed so casually.
Highly subscribed to debates have been asking for a general election in this Parliament. Would he acknowledge the fact that even the fact that both of those petitions had over 1 million people signing the petition illustrates the huge frustration out there at this current government that they do want the government to change course?
The petitioners who have put their names to this petition, they say, well, the people want change. They are not the majority of the people in this country. There are tens and tens of millions of people in this country, and 1 million signed this petition. And here's the news. The people actually got change in 2024. 18 months ago, we got a government that explicitly said it was...
The exchange escalates when Francois reminds Hurley that 17.3 million people voted to leave the European Union, which he says is far more than voted for Labour in the last general election. He asks whether Hurley respects that much larger number, since Hurley seems to focus on numerical comparisons. Hurley replies that those people voted in good faith but were lied to by politicians like Francois. This comment causes immediate uproar, and the chair intervenes. Hurley is told he must withdraw the remark. After a tense moment, Hurley withdraws his words, bringing the heated confrontation to a temporary close.
Wasn't just going to go and put sticking plasters on the gaping wounds of the previous 14 years. The self-harming referendum, which has done this country no favours whatsoever. In every part... Go on. If he must.
He may recall that 17.3 million people voted in that referendum peacefully and democratically to leave the European Union, which is a lot more people than voted for Labour in the last general election. So if he's not prepared to respect the opinion of 1 million people who've signed this petition, and he's all about numbers today, would he respect the opinion of 17.3 million people who voted to leave the EU, or is that not a big enough number for him either?
Those people voted in good faith, and they were lied to by people like him.
I beg your pardon.
Inadvertently. Inadvertently lied. I will withdraw.
No, you must withdraw.
I will withdraw.